Ms Sturgeon tried to keep lid on just how bad things were getting at the SNP, and has landed Humza Yousaf with an impossible task, writes Michelle Ballantyne, whilst Scotland's First Minister, Humza Yousaf, tries to present himself as leader of an open, transparent, and trustworthy government. One wonders if Ms Sturgeon has been removed from his speed dial, given she is now vying to be the poster girl for how not to lead a political party, the previous reluctance of journalists to attack and question the SNP has gone, and the finger in the dam is simply the presence of a live police investigation. Mr Yousaf sees no reason to suspend any individuals from the party whilst they are being investigated. His deputy Shona Robeson, Ms Sturgeon's close friend, was keen to tell us that is because he believes they are innocent until proven guilty. It is true that Mr Yousaf tends to keep his counsel on matters such as this, and the law certainly gives him a wall to hide behind as he is unable to comment on a live police case. Perhaps Ms Sturgeon had hoped on resigning to follow in the footsteps of their former friend and colleague Derek Mackay, who resigned from government, stopped attending Parliament and avoided any investigation into his press-published wrongdoings. But having taken steps 1 and 2 sadly for Ms Sturgeon, allegations of white-collar crime still agitate the public, especially when their money is missing. So there is no sign that this will just go away. With all this talk of malfeasance, no auditors seem willing to take on the risk now associated with the SNP, and that missing £600,000 is still exercising supporters' frustrations. Not to mention the Westminster group of MPs facing the loss of their short money that funds their staff and travel. It is not so far-fetched to contemplate the SNP being declared bankrupt. Ms Sturgeon and Mr Morell certainly didn't do Mr Yousaf any favours when they handed him the keys to the kingdom without a home report laying out. Although Ms Sturgeon's sudden resignation initially saw an outpouring of praise, it was quickly followed by questions and suspicion tearing into her reputation, leaving her legacy in tatters and police tents on her front lawn. The palpable frustration of many Scots who have witnessed the dictatorial fashion with which Ms Sturgeon governed, the utter lack of transparency, and the way in which the investigation into the Alex Salmond debacle was handled are watching this investigation with little sympathy. Trust has been shattered in an SNP machine that has long controlled all elements of Scotland's governance. Ms Sturgeon is now the focus of speculation. Without facts, rumours will fill the gap. Has she spoken to the police privately? Will she follow in the footsteps of her husband and the SNP party treasurer Colin Beattie and undergo the indignity of being arrested? What ending will feature in future lessons about Scotland's devolved parliament? This is a fall from grace so long awaited by unionists and some separatists that the nothing to see here stories such as her husband's villa in Portugal become spin narrative, with journalists interviewing restaurant owners only to be told the Moles are a quiet couple and she occasionally has a gin and tonic outside of politics. It seems her life is utterly boring. Rumours of girlfriends and clandestine relationships were laughed off by Ms Sturgeon on her self-promoting appearance on Loose Women. Even the much speculated about luxury motorhome never left the driveway until the police confiscated it. Supposedly the SNP's campaign battle bus, it obviously couldn't compete with the lure of that campaign helicopter. Ms Sturgeon's reputation as a caring, devoted servant of the people had been honed latterly by repeatedly apologising and taking responsibility, using that preferred new media optic of humble sincerity designed to win over the people's devotion and respect whilst neatly deflecting any opportunity